Hey, Ginevra. Good morning. How are you doing this morning, sweetie?
Wow, it is really warm this morning. It's like above freezing. I think it's like about 36 degrees Fahrenheit when I just checked the temperature.
And today is going to be a very special video because in today's video, we're going to be awarding Barn Cat of the Year. As many of our regular viewers know, we had a competition going all for 2022 to say who's going to be the best Barn Cat of the Year, who's going to win the award.
So for 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, Pablo Barn Cat has been the de facto automatic Barn Cat of the Year.
But this year, he's actually faced some very stiff competition. You know, last year the competition was very close between Molly and Pablo, but this year, Ginny Barn Cat, who was just a kitten last year, she's really come into her own.
And she has been on an absolute rampage.
And so as many folks who've been watching this race know, Pablo Barn Cat is a little bit behind. Molly and Ginny have been neck and neck.
And I now have the results for winner of Barn Cat of the Year, and I'll reveal the results at the end of this video. They just might shock you.
How was that, girls? Was that enough YouTube hype to get people watching this video until the end?
Because believe me, there is actually a very special surprise at the end of this video.
Hey Ginny, you wanna wear the camera? Yeah? Okay, cool. We're gonna need some cat cam footage today, and so you can be the camera gal.
I don't know if you guys can hear this as I'm putting this on her. She is purring up a storm. She actually really likes wearing this.
Now I just need to turn on the camera with the special controller, and she's now recording.
All right, let's see what adventures you get up to this morning too, Ginny. But now, before I can award Barn Cat of the Year, I do have to go do chores.
Wow, would you look how muddy and icy everything is right now? Well, you can see our barn site again pretty easily. You know, so right now what's happening with the barn is the timber framer, he actually has all the timber delivered to him at his place, and he's actually working on building out the timber frame, like basically cutting all the pieces for the barn. And then come springtime, he'll come out here and assemble it.
I might actually head over to his shop in a couple of weeks and show you guys what he's been doing, because I gotta say, Justin is an absolute master at this stuff, and it's amazing to watch him work, and so that might be a future video.
Good morning, Wiener Caps. How's it going? Hey, Belinda. Good to see you, sweetie pie. How's it going? Yeah, Belinda continues to become friendlier and friendlier with me. Now, Jimi Hendrix is always friendly. And then Joey Ramone, he's become very friendly too. You know, the one calf I have not been able to get very close to is Bonnie McMurray. She is definitely the shyest of our calves. What are you yelling about, Jimmy? You still have plenty of hay over there, and your mom, she's right over there.
They still bellow, but not nearly as much as that first week, which was like insane.
Good morning, large white farm dogs. How's it going, guys? How's it going? So do you guys know who Barn Cat of the Year is? I know you are the closest co-workers of the Barn Cats, so you know pretty much who's doing what. Wow, it is so slippery out here. I think I'm gonna need to change into my spiky boots. What do you think, guys? I think that's gonna be much better and much safer.
So I know a lot of people see the barn cats and they just think that they're adorable and this is just a guy who likes to have cats. But the reality is that barn cats actually play a really important role in our farm's ecosystem. And if it wasn't for that important role that they played, we probably wouldn't even have cats on our farm, because as I've told you guys many times before, I am not a cat person. And I know I say that a little bit tongue-in-cheek, but when it really comes down to it, I am allergic to cats. We probably wouldn't have taken on our first cat, Pablo Barn Cat, if it hadn't been our need for cats. And the need for cat was actually twofold. You see, when Pablo Barn Cat first came to our farm, my wife had moved up to the farm all by herself. I was still finishing up my job down in Washington, DC, and I was looking for a job up here in Vermont. And Allison was starting school to go get her license as a nurse practitioner. And so she had to move up here probably a good 6-7 months before I could move up here. And so she was all alone. And so I wanted to make sure she had a companion. And a friend of mine was looking to rehome Pablo Barn Cat. And so it seemed like the perfect match. Because like I said, I also knew that our farm needed a cat. Given the area that we live in, the climate that we live in, the fact that we live in a really old house, mice can easily become a problem out here. And so the Barn Cat's primary job here on the farm is to help control the rodent population and help keep that manageable. By controlling that rodent population, it actually helps reduce things like damage and disease that can come with those rodents. And our barn cats put away a serious number of rodents. By my unofficial and incomplete count, each of our 3 outdoor barn cats has more than 100 confirmed kills for the year of 2022. I mean, that is a lot of mice, voles, moles, a weasel even got taken out of our ecosystem, all because of our barn cats. And so I really do see that as a key part of the value that our barn cats bring to the farm.
Isn't that right, Molly? You do some really good work. And you and Abby have actually become friends. It's kind of shocking, even though I think you're as surprised as I am by it.
So yes, Pablo Barn Cat was the first barn cat on the farm. And then in the spring of 2018, right after I moved up here, we added Lil Barn Cat to the farm. She came here as a kitten, and she and Pablo were our 2 outdoor cats. And they did a really good job of keeping things in check. Back in the summer of 2020, Lil Barn Cat actually got hit by a car. It was really sad. I actually, for a couple days, thought she was dead. But then one night she magically appeared on our doorstep and she was in rough shape. She had a shattered pelvis, she had a ruptured bladder, she had a couple of other internal injuries, and we didn't think she was gonna make it. But thankfully, thanks to some amazing veterinary work, she was able to be saved. But unfortunately, because of her injuries, we had to move her inside, and so she's actually now a full-time indoor house cat. And that left us with only 1 barn cat on our farm, Pablo Barn Cat. And when that happened, we ended up having actually some real problems with rodents around the farm, because when it comes down to it, our farm, because it's a poultry farm, we use a lot of poultry feed, and that poultry feed ends up attracting a lot of rodents. Those rodents bring disease, and those rodents actually also attract other predators. You know, for example, a coyote's main diet is actually mice. Same thing with a fox, same thing with a hawk.
I mean, because honestly, look, every so often we'll spill some feed on the ground or something like that'll happen.
And that feed will attract the rodents, and those rodents attract the predators. Again, I talk about things as an ecosystem for a very specific reason.
You see Ginny Barn Cat up there on her perch? She's watching from on high, watching what the dogs do. And then she can also kind of watch over here to see if there's rodents out there.
So yes, when we were down to only 1 barn cat here on the farm, we were starting to get overrun, and we were actually even getting sort of ranging feral cats coming here to the farm because they saw so much rodent activity. And so ultimately, in the spring of 2021, we ended up adding 2 new barn cats. They came to our farm as a mother-daughter combination. So a friend of ours had actually found Molly, and Molly had actually given birth to a litter of kittens at her place, and she didn't know what to do with them. She was able to rehome most of the kittens, but she still had Molly and 1 kitten, which was perfect for us, and so we adopted the 2 of them and trained them to our farm, and they've been here ever since. And by the time that Ginny got to be a teenager last fall, our barn cat situation had really improved our rodent situation, and we weren't having any of the problems that we had previously had. Because the combination of Pablo Escobar along with Molly Murder Mittens and baby Gin, they were just brutalizing the rodent population.
And so now we have the configuration of barn cats that we're going to keep our farm safe and protected.
But I will often get questions from video viewers asking, who is the most efficient barn cat? And so that's why we have the Barn Cat of the Year competition. The criteria is based on a number of things. They get points added for every time they kill a rodent. They get points deducted for every time they kill a bird. And then they'll also get extra points for additional activities like how cuddly they are or how good of a camera cat they are.
Hey Molly Wobbles, you like this new platform I built? So yeah, I just took a piece of scrap plywood and I screwed it to this little makeshift fence I have. It makes for a nice little cover for the dog's water, and then it also makes a nice housing for the hose, and so I can put the hose on and let it run. I can do the water trough for the cattle. I can also fill the duck waterers. And then it makes for a very nice little perch for our favorite barn cats. Isn't that right, sweetie? You know, when people look at Molly Murder Mittens and her personality, they hear the name and they see the body count and they think she's really vicious. And while she can be pretty brutal, she is actually super friendly and adorable with humans. She really likes to be petted. She really likes to rub up on you. While Ginny has the big personality and is the cat that's most likely to jump on my shoulder, Molly is the one who I just feel like a very special connection and bond with. But to be quite honest, I kind of treat all of the barn cats at the same level. So Molly, Ginny, Pablo, Lil, they each have their own special place. You know, Ginny is my little baby, and Pablo is the longest tenured employee here at the farm. And Lil, I don't know, don't even get me started on Lil or I might start crying. You guys don't see her as much in videos, but she's probably the barn cat I spend the most time with because whenever I'm hanging out in my office or doing work in my office inside the house, Lil is always like right there sitting on the chair right behind me. Like if you ever watch one of our live streams, she's like in 90% of them. And so I genuinely don't have a favorite barn cat. But if you were to ask Allison, she definitely has a ranking for the barn cats. Pablo barn cat is her absolute favorite animal on this farm. Heck, Pablo is probably her favorite creature on this earth. Present company included in that statement, but she absolutely loves that cat more than life itself. And then Lil barn cat is actually a close second because, you know, I think she spends so much time with her inside the house. Allison really likes Ginny, but she thinks she's a bit of a showboat and has a bit of an ego. And I'll just tell you guys a secret. She actually doesn't like Molly because sometimes she'll see Molly and Pablo fighting and that upsets her. I don't know, dogs. Do you have a favorite barn cat? I'm pretty sure Toby Dog's favorite barn cat is Pablo. And I'm also pretty sure that Abby Dog's favorite barn cat is Molly Murder Mittens. Of course, the funniest reaction to the dogs from one of the barn cats always came from Lil Barn Cat. You know, the day that I brought Toby Dog home to our farm, you know, I unloaded him out of my truck. He was inside of a crate, and I have this video footage of Lil just watching as I put Toby down and look at him, and her eyes just get so wide and so big and filled with terror, and she immediately bolts as soon as he's let out. Yeah, Lil Barn Cat is not a fan of dogs whatsoever. Oh, hi, Abby. Giving me belly? Aw, you're adorable. Good morning, birds. How's everybody doing this morning? Hey, no cheating. I will admit, one improvement I think I'm gonna need to make to the hoop coop is some drainage things. Particularly with this thaw, what I'm finding is all the ice is sort of melting out, all the snow is melting out, and it's making the coop damper than it should be. So I'm gonna have to figure out a solve for that one. Not that it's like horrible, just that it's less than perfect, and so keep striving to make things better and better. And you guys might also notice that I just didn't say release the quacking right there, because I don't know, I kind of find it weird. Like when I open up the door, the birds kind of trickle out these days. They don't come running out. I think it's because they have so much space. They don't really feel the need to be like sprung like they used to from the duck house. But yeah, when you look at the ground right here, that's like bird poop coupled with spilt grains, and that stuff is like gold to rodents. They will come from near and far to get some of the bird food, particularly during the cold depths of winter. And that's again why the barn cats are so gosh darn important here on the farm. I covered in a little bit of poop, but I did get 2 eggs this morning, so that's a good thing. Yeah, I'm still not eating eggs. I'm still gonna guess it's gonna be probably another 2 weeks, 3 weeks. But with the daylight continuing to come on, I'm pretty sure my chickens are gonna start getting into high gear when it comes to laying, and so I'll go back to eating the eggs. Allison's birthday is coming up, and so I might actually end up using these eggs to bake her a birthday cake. All right, have a great day, birds. What are you looking for there, Molly Murder Mittens? I can see you're on the hunt. Yeah, our barn cats seem to have different like zones or regions that they like to patrol. So Molly Barn Cat is actually really a fan of hanging out here in the bird yard and around the dogs. She spends a lot of time over here. And so I would really say that this is like her zone, an area that she likes to prowl. Pablo Barn Cat really likes to spend his time around the house as well as the garden and kind of this area around here. And I fully expect him to be the one to really take ownership of the new barn once it gets built. Hey Pablo, what you doing? Hanging out on my truck? Yeah? I know. You like to hang out on vehicles too. That's like your favorite thing. But then my girl Ginny Barn Cat, she actually likes to hang out near the barn. Hey Ginny, you want to hitch a ride?
Parkour! Parkour!
Okay, that's not quite what I was thinking, but here, let me take your collar off. I don't want you getting snagged on anything. Yes, Ginny is the truest of the barn cats. She loves spending time in the barn. She sleeps in the barn most of the time. She likes to hang out near the cattle. She will often curl up in the hay of the cattle. I'll often find her sleeping here during the day, like out around in this area. So it's good to have her. What's going on, Jimi Hendrix? I'm gonna miss you, man. When you leave, I will miss you. I'm just saying. Ooh, would you look at that? Oh, that's kind of gross. I see a dead mole there. Unfortunately, that's not a confirmed kill because I didn't see which cat did it. If I had to guess though, probably Ginny. What are you guys fighting for? Come on, we're trying to do Barn Cat of the Year here. You know, one of the things I've noticed with the barn cats is I can tell who does what based on how the animal has been killed. So Pablo Barn Cat will quickly devour pretty much all the mice and voles he gets his hands on. Ginny Barn Cat here does something very similar. Molly Murder Mittens tends not to eat the animals that she kills. She actually usually leaves them by the door. And so I will admit that in my tabulation methodology for Barn Cat of the Year this year, there is a little bit of a bias towards Molly because it was easier to count the number of kills that she had compared to the other cats. But I'll also say that none of the cats like to eat moles. They will kill them, but they will not eat them. Now I know you guys are probably wanting to know the final standings and tally, and so let me stop killing time and get right into it. Of course, I have to pull up the little tabulation I've been keeping here on my phone because that's the only way I was able to figure out the numbers. Okay, so without further ado, here are the numbers. So Pablo Barn Cat killed 32 voles, 52 mice, 6 moles, and 1 bird over the course of 2022. Those are some very respectable numbers, and they're just slightly lower than what they've traditionally been. Ginny Barn Cat killed 67 voles, 39 mice, 29 moles, and unfortunately she killed 6 birds. So that's like the one number that's not a good number in these. And so she loses points for that. And then Molly Murder Mittens killed 74 voles, 42 mice, 27 moles, 1 weasel, 1 rat, and 2 birds. Guys, stop fighting. And so that means Molly Murder Mittens is Barn Cat of the Year. Yay! Go Molly! Go Molly! Woo! Yay! Now you guys might be wondering, well, if she's Barn Cat of the Year, what does that mean? What does she win? Well, first and foremost, it's bragging rights. That's what she wins. But then second, she's also gonna get a very special tuna dinner later tonight. But then third, in honor of her win as Barn Cat of the Year, she's gonna get her very own Molly Murder Mittens t-shirt. Check this out, huh? Very cool, right? And if you guys want your own Molly Murder Mittens t-shirt, it's available right now online. Just click the link down below or the link at the end of this video. Yes, it's the return of the Goldshaw Farm t-shirt series. I am super excited about this one. I think it looks awesome. When I was working with the artist, what I said was I wanted a Molly Murder Mittens t-shirt that looked like it was a t-shirt for a heavy metal band. And I think the artist, they delivered like flawlessly. And so I'm super appreciative of it. It's such a cool design. It's available in black. It's also available in purple. These Molly Murder Mittens t-shirts are going to be only available though for a very limited time, and so you got to put your order in, and eventually once we close out the orders, we'll send the t-shirts to press and you'll get them a couple weeks later. I'm super excited about this. I think this is like my most favoriteest t-shirt ever, and I'm super proud of Molly because she got to have her own t-shirt. As you guys recall, Pablo Escobar had his own t-shirt last year. I think he's a little salty about the fact that he doesn't get a new t-shirt right now. And who knows, maybe if one day Ginny Barn Cat wins Barn Cat of the Year, she'll get a t-shirt of her own too. But yes, I'm very excited to introduce this one to you guys. So like I said, click the link down below or there'll be a link at the end of this video. Check it out because I think you're gonna really enjoy this shirt, and once it's gone forever. And I don't know, Ginny, maybe I'll make some Barn Cat sizes. You can wear a t-shirt with your mom on it, even though I don't think you'd like that very much. Now you guys might be wondering about our other Barn Cat, Lil Barn Cat, the Barn Cat who retired to the indoors. You can actually see her right here hanging out with me. Enjoy the cat treat there, Lil. Well, yes, she has fully transitioned to indoor cat duty, and she's only an indoor cat at this point. She spends a lot of her time hanging out by the fire or hanging out in my office, but I am very happy to report that she's still putting in some work even though she's in semi-retirement. You know, Lil Barn Cat actually caught about 4 mice this year, and our house is mouse-free, which is really important for a farmhouse like ours. You know, when we first bought this place, it was like infested with mice, and so having Lil Barn Cat here in the house. It helps keep the outdoor mice from coming indoors. Now, I hope you guys have enjoyed this wrap up of our barn cat of the year. I'm really excited to see what 2023 holds and who's gonna be this year's barn cat of the year. Also, if you wanna get one of these cool Molly Murder Mitten shirts, remember they're only gonna be available for a limited time, and you can click on the link on the screen or click on the link down in the description of this video. Thanks for watching, everybody.